Hi, my name is Alexandra, aka The Art Mother. I'm an artist, illustrator, online educator, and in this video I'm going to show you how to use my brushes. I have created the Art Mother's Ultimate Brush Set that contains 6 different brushes and are free to download. So head over to my website to download them and also check out the video how to download and install them. So there are 6 different brushes for the 6 different functions that you will need during your illustration process, and I'm using them all the time. So let's just get there and I will show you how to use them. We are going to create this cute little cat illustration together. So grab your iPad and your Apple Pencil and open Procreate. Alright, so before you approach the illustration with me, make sure to download the brushes that you have them in your brush sets. Make sure to download the color palette Galactic Cat and also the sketch. Import it into Procreate, and actually I love to set my background color to gray so that I can see my colors better, but that's just optional. What I'm going to do is to clean my iPad as well. I just bought a paper-like bundle because I've changed the paper-like screen protector and I've got this cleaner, so I will just spray it around and clean it. Oops, okay, I need to use this. So I will just clean it as if I would clean a window, and I'm not really doing a lot actually. All right, so it's clean and now we can approach. I hope you can see everything well. All right, so you have the brushes, you have the color palette, you have the sketch. Now what I'm going to start with is the clean shaper and this magenta color. And what I'm going to do is to create 4 different layers for 4 different shapes of my cat. So there is the head shape, that's the first, then the body, then the ears, and then the tail. So I'm just going to speed this up so that I don't bore you, but I will basically just fill in these shapes to all different layers, all right? And before I approach that, I will make sure that I create a layer below the sketch, and I will lower the opacity of the sketch so that I can see through it. So I'm at the layer below the sketch, yep, and I can start drawing. All right, so what I have now are 4 different layers of 4 different shapes. So the head, the ears, the body, and the tail. So what I'm going to do now is to approach shading. I will alpha lock all these layers. And now I will choose this darker pink or burgundy and choose the shader brush. Now with the shader brush, make sure that the opacity is down here and it is like this size. And what I'm going to do is to go through all these shapes. I will start with the head and add a little shading. This is called under shading. I will place kind of shadow below the texture so that it is already kind of shaded. I will add a little bit of shadows for the place of the eyes, like around them. It will like look good. And also like this. Don't worry, this will be fine. Okay, now for the ears. And at the ears, oops, I have actually shadows inside the ears, so I will already like add them there. I will place shadows to these parts. I will leave out a little for this side. I can add back if I wish with the original color to make a little bit smoother gradation between the shadow and the actually mid-tone. But don't worry about that now too much. Then about the body, So it will have a little shadow below the head, so as like, you know, there is the neck. There will be shadow between these leggings and a little bit below these legs. And as you can see, basically what I'm doing is like shading around these shapes. Not really going into deeply into shading. This is just one way to do it. Obviously, it is good if you know how to shade. Now what I'm going to do is the next step. Actually, I'm going to add the eyes. That will be fun. So I will create a new layer. And now I'm going to use a textured shaper. The textured shaper is similar to the clean shaper, but it has textured edges and is really good to add details with them. So not to use them for the base shapes, but for the shapes that are inside your animal or anything that you are creating actually. So I have the textured shaper and I'm going to use this yellow down here for the eyes. So what I'm going to do is to basically create this shape of the eye, the biggest shape, because we will have 3 shapes in the eye. Okay, cool. And let's just do the same again. So I will choose this darker version of the color and choose the shader and just shade. Oops. Yeah, make sure to alpha lock this shape again and just shade around it. Okay, cool. Now what I'm going to create is a clipping mask. A clipping mask is actually clipping anything that you draw into this clipping mask layer to the layer and shape below it. So I'm going to create a new layer, hit that and create a clipping mask. Now I can draw anything, but it will show only through these shapes of the eyes that we have just created. So make sure that you are at this clipping mask layer. And I will choose this middle violet color and choose the textured shaper and again just fill in this shape. Alright, they start to look even better, right? Now I will choose this very light lavender and the shader brush to show you that you can not only create shades with this shader brush, but also light. So I'm just going to follow the shape or the line that I have here for this last shape and just add the line like this. It will create kind of a glow inside this eye. Okay, a little bit lighter, like this. Okay, super cool. And now I will create another clipping mask and choose this darkest violet I have here. And again with the textured shaper, I will just add this last shape. Okay, cool. Now I will alpha lock it again and I will add a little bit of this galactic glow into it. Again with the shader. And oops, with the shader and just into the middle of it so that it has this little galactic effect. And now I will add a little bit of light into the sides. So I will choose this a very light yellow again and add just a little bit of this light here and there where there are these shapes within the eye. And now I will choose the clean shaper and white and just add these white dots to the eyes to make them glow. And voila, they are finished. All right, let's move on to the texturizing part. So I will texturize right into these shapes, and I will not create another layer for it so that it is like more consistent. I will start with the body. So I will choose this light yellow and choose this texturizer brush that will create super cool textures. And I will start with this middle triangle here. That is here. It is super nice. And I will just fill it and choose this darker one to add a little bit of fur into it. Oh, maybe even darker. It is not showing. So I will just choose a little darker color and put it there. I will include it. So this last color you need to choose. Then I will go back to this lighter one, top lighter one. And I will just add fur. These short lines above it all. And as you can see, it is under shading, already created the kind of the effect of being in dimension. I will make this shape with it into this part of the cat. If you make this texturizer a little bit bigger and maybe a little bit less opaque, you can add a little bit more of this texture like this, very smoothly and firmly. But I like this fur, how it turns out really nice. All right, now I will create the nose. I will create a top layer. I will take this dark violet and the clean shaper again, and I will just draw a nose here. Again, just alpha lock, take this shader brush, and I will go with this very light lavender into it. Maybe I will add a little bit of this magenta as well. All right. And now to the top layer, I will choose this sketching pencil that I've created this sketch with, and you can use it for details. It is really good for details. So I will choose this dark violet and add these things. I will choose this light color to add this whiskers. And I will also add some lashes here. Like this. Super cute. All right, maybe I will add some dots here. Okay. Cool. Now let's talk about drop shadows. Drop shadows are very important in any illustration as it adds more depth and yeah, it makes everything look more realistic. So I will choose black and choose my drop shadow brush. And I will create a top layer over everything, and I will just make sure that it is quite like this size and it is transparent, and I will just add little shadows where I need them. So where things touch, where I need a little bit more of contrast, and to this top part, like the lashes are giving a little bit of shadow to the eye. I will add a little bit of shadow below the nose and below the mouth, and then below the neck, and then to the bottom of these legs, maybe between these legs, like here, where this tail is. Yeah, I will maybe erase this. Okay. And now I'm going to go to adjustments, Gaussian blur, and blur it a little bit, and voila, you will have like really these nice shadows here. I will create a layer below it all, and with this drop shadow brush I will create circles below this cat. And if you notice, if I create more layers, it will get just darker and darker. I will maybe add a little bit of this here, and I will Gaussian blur it as well. So I will just place it a little bit more below the kitty and it is finished. What I love to use is built into Procreate, so I will just add it as an extra. If you go to the luminous brush set, you have the light pen, choose white and just add little, oops, with a smaller brush, add little stars into the eyes of the kitty, into the kitty itself, as it is a galactic cat. Make it a bit bigger. Yeah, so now we are finished. What do you say? I hope that you like it. So let's just do a little recap on what these brushes can do and what you can use them for. So the sketching pencil, you can create a sketch with them and you can add details with them. With the clean shaper, you can create the base shapes for your illustration. With a textured shaper, you can create more textured shapes within your illustration. With the shader brush, you can add shadows and also light. And with the texturizer, you can create fun textures like fur, for example. And there is a drop shadow that will help you to make your artworks more in-depth, more in contrast and more realistic. So make sure to download the brushes. I will turn off the sketch to see it in whole beauty. I think it is very beautiful. I really hope that you like this tutorial and I'm so much looking forward to see what you create with these resources, with the sketch, with the brushes, the color palette. Obviously you can use different color palette and add your own things into this illustration. Please, if you are sharing this on social media, tag me as the art mother and my brushes because they are my babies. I really love them and I'm so curious what will you create with them. If you want to dive deep into different topics within illustration like shading, perspective, character design, I have totally cool classes for them. Actually, I have 40 different classes on all different kinds of topics on Skillshare. So with the link below, you will get one month free Skillshare premium membership by which you can check them out and see if they are a good fit for you. And you can level up your skills more deeply. Also, if you like these accessories like I have from Paperlike, I am really loving their stuff. So I have the screen protector and now I've got a full bundle of a cleaning tool and also this grip which is actually really comfortable. I haven't used a thing like this for like 5 years and I accidentally got it with my bundle and I started like, oh my god, this is so good. Alright, so follow me on my social media on Instagram and Facebook to get notified about the latest challenges, classes and announcements, and also subscribe to my YouTube channel. I will come with more tutorials in the future. So I'm so much looking forward to your artworks. Enjoy my brushes and happy creating!